Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome again to another painting tutorial. Today I'll be painting a lake, so we'll be doing a waterscape. And I love this one because it will be more of a monochromatic style of painting. So we will not be stressing so much about a lot of colors today, but we will do a lot of blending and a lot of what do you call this effects, water effects. Okay, so the colors that I'll be mentioning in this video will be listed in the description box below, so you can check them out if you want to paint along with me. So we'll be using titanium white, black, violet, magenta, burnt sienna, and yellow. I might use some other colors later, but it will be determined as I go. But basically, these are the colors that we'll be using today. So I'm going to sketch first the subject so that you know where things are going to go. And by the way, I'm using an 11 by 14 inch canvas paper. This is just a canvas paper. You can use any material that you want to paint on. You can use a stretch canvas. You can use a canvas board. You can use a canvas cloth. You can even use a circular material to paint on. It's really up to you. What I'm trying to teach you is how to paint it, not to just copy my painting. I know that there's a thin line between teaching and applying the lessons and just copying my paintings. But just to be clear, when I was just starting, I was also learning from other art teachers, and now I'm doing my own thing. So I just want you to improve, and I want you to learn something. So learn something out of this training or out of this practice. Okay, as I mentioned, I'll be sketching first the subject so that we know where things are going to go. And for the sketch, I'll be using my black. So I'm just going to dab onto my black. And we're going to draw first where the horizon line is going to go. Since we'll be doing or we'll be focusing more on water, we will not be doing a lot of land area. So this will be the horizon line. It's very high, as you can see here. But again, my focus here is the water. I'm not trying to give you a landscape. We're doing a waterscape. So that would be, it's like 1/4 of my 11 by 14 canvas paper. Okay, now let's do the underpainting because this is quite easy in terms of it's quite easy sketch-wise. Okay, now I'll be using, again, my black, but I'll be dabbing onto my violet as well. I'll be mixing the two colors. A little bit of white just to make things a little gray, okay? Not too dark. And I'm going to use more water than usual just to make things more flowy. And I'll be starting with the corner. And try to be soft when you apply the colors because we're painting waters. So we don't want to be rigid when it comes to the brush strokes because we're trying to make it more fluid and we're going to make it so soft. Okay, I'll be getting my white, okay, without washing my brush. So I suggest that you watch first the video before you proceed doing your own painting. I'm going to go back to the dark violet that I just had here, and I'm just going to continue the dark mixture of violet and black and a little bit of white just to make things a little more gray. All right. Okay, again, dab onto your white. Right here, you can use water if necessary, just to make the blending easier. Okay. Now we're going to thin the violet black combination, meaning we're not going to apply too much. Okay. We're going to thin in terms of the width. Can pronounce things correctly. The width. All right, and then go back to white. Make sure that it's quite watery, so that when you apply the paint, it's it's more fluid. Okay, now without washing my brush, I'm just gonna dab onto my white and cover the rest of the canvas paper up to the horizon line. Okay, we're going a bit horizontal this time. Right, just like that. And I want this to dry first before I proceed to doing a lot more detailing. Okay, I'm gonna get my orange, sorry, my yellow, a little bit of magenta to get some orangey color. And I'm gonna apply that right here, okay, near the horizon line. Just try to be soft when you apply this color. This will be a suggestion of the sunset reflection, okay? But try to be gentle when you apply it because we don't want to mix the colors. We don't want to mix the dark and the yellowish color because it will turn out to be green. Okay, now I'm going to switch brush. I want to use a smaller brush so that I can control it more. So I'm going to dab onto my black. I'm just going to darken the corners because we want some sort of framing effect by darkening the colors on the corners of our canvas paper. Again, you use water more than usual, simply because we're painting waters, and I've mentioned this many times in my videos that when I am painting water, I literally use more water and then try to blend a bit. You don't want any harsh lines going on, okay? You can use your hands. You can use your fingers, trying to be soft. Okay, I'm gonna get my violet. Okay. And a little bit of white, just try to be soft. Okay, now let's go here and we're just gonna thin, okay, the dark colors right here. So as you go near the horizon line, this dark markings, these lines that we're doing, these water flows or water, like tiny waves of water, should appear thinner. And as it, okay, there's a baby crying. And as we go near again, um, it it appears like it disappears. Okay, not it appears, but it disappears. Yeah, let's just color these areas. Why is there a baby crying? All right. Yeah, I'm gonna wet my brush. Try to be more soft. Okay, now using black. Okay, why? I'm painting and there is a baby crying. Like my neighbor's baby is crying. Yeah, you can hear that. Okay, I'm gonna use my black again just to make some suggestion of mountains, like land formation here. Okay. You can paint any size of mountain you want. It's up to you. But for purposes of tutorial, yeah, you can follow this one. And now I'm gonna make some sky color before we go back to this area, okay? Because we're actually allowing it to dry first before we move on to the next step. So we go to the sky part, and for the sky part, it's basically the reflection, or it's basically the thing being reflected in the waters. So we should not depart from the colors here. So there should be violets and yellows as well. So I'll be getting my violet and my white. A little bit of black just to tone the colors down. And I'm gonna use this color right here. Okay, I really apologize for the baby cry. Uh, it's my neighbor's baby. I mean, I cannot really control that. Okay, again, just a combination of those colors. Right here. We'll be doing more mountains, but we might as well do this portion first. I'm gonna get my white, okay, just pure white, and I'm gonna paint over the center with this color. Okay, I'm gonna wash my brush out, and I'm gonna darken my violet now, because again, we want some sort of framing. We want some sort of framing when you view the painting. Just try to be soft so that you blend. Because when you're too hard on your brush strokes, you tend to create hard lines, which is not really good when your goal is to blend, okay? Or create some softer lines. It takes practice to really, really know how to blend. Okay. We will be correcting the mountains later. Okay, I'm gonna dab onto my white again. All right, just like that. Okay, I'm gonna allow that first to dry. Let's go back to the waters because this is basically dry. Let's go back to it and let's soften the details. So I'm gonna use the same brush that I have here. I'm gonna get my white. Let's create some purplish, grayish color. So we're gonna use the purple color here that we already have, but we're adding a little bit more black to make it gray and more white. And now we're going to do our best to really do some blending. I'm gonna remove the excess water from my paintbrush. I'm gonna create soft brush strokes. I'm actually dipping it in the water. I mean, in my water bucket, but it's not super wet, like just the tip of it. Okay, now they're talking outside. Very, very, I can hear it from here. Okay, so just continue this. And here, my canvas paper is quite absorbent. That's why I just keep on reapplying the paint, because if I don't do that, I will have a dry painting. Okay, now I'm gonna dab onto my black again. I'm gonna add a little bit of purple. Let's try to make things soft. And while it's true that, yeah, we are only using a few colors today, it's also true that we'll be doing a lot of blending, as I've mentioned during the intro of this video, just to soften everything. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna use a softer brush so that I get to do some more blending. Okay. Right here, softer brush strokes. It's quite difficult when um, your material is just super absorbent. And okay, I know already how to not make my canvas paper not too absorbent. I'm just not doing it because I'm lazy. I'm lazy when it comes to applying extra medium on my material. I just want it to be simple. Just get the job done and practice. So I know that some people will advise me, oh, you should apply this and that medium so that your canvas paper is not that absorbent. I know that already, but thank you for the advice. It's just that it's my own preference not to use any of that medium. I don't want to be dependent on those things. Okay, now with this paintbrush, I'm just gonna get my black, mix it with a little bit of white so that it's gray. Because as I told you, I'll be doing some background, more background mountains. I'll be adding a little bit of brown, and then white, so that it's not too black. We don't want it to be super black. And then we're going to start creating some sort of mountains right here. These are more distant mountains. Okay. So the first ones that we did, these are those are more um, proximate, or those are more near mountains. Okay, and to emphasize that they are near, I'm going to apply more black to those areas. All right, just like that. And then using this black paint, I'm going to create some reflections right here. So just um, horizontal lines. Okay, I'm using water to make it really, really fluid. Right, just like that. Okay, using the same color, black, okay, I'm going to create more detailing on the waves. Like that. Then more gray. Like that. Okay. I'm gonna get my yellow. Okay, I'm gonna paint some yellowish color just along the mountain. Okay, and a little bit of red. Get that orangey color. And then some more white colors. And then try to blend. Okay. And then I'll do a lot more blending on the sides simply because there are so many hard lines right here. Okay, now using a clean brush, I'm gonna dab onto my white and I'm going to make a line along the horizon line, okay, just to separate the water. Okay, this is a bit thick. Okay, just like that. And for me to correct the thickness, okay, I'm gonna use my black to thin out that part because we actually don't need too thick of a line right here. Just a little bit of that suggestion of separation between the water and the mountains. Okay. Right. I'm gonna get again my yellow color. I'll be adding red so that it's more orangey, and white so that, and okay, more red. It should look like pinkish and not that yellowish or orangey. And I'm gonna apply that pinky color quite randomly here near the horizon line. Okay, just like that. It's like glazing it with this color. Right, just like that. This area is still wet. I'm gonna paint something. I'm gonna paint something there to suggest the sun, but it's still wet. I know that when it's wet, I will only get impatient because I will have to relayer. So I might as well wait for it to completely dry, or at least dry enough for me to paint over it. Let's go back to the water part and let's make this a little more soft. Okay, so I'm gonna dab onto my black and violet again. Okay, water and white. Okay, more black. And let's try to soften it while waiting for that air to dry, since we're already at this portion. So I'm just gonna try to use my fingers and do some rotating motion like this, just to soften everything. Because if I see hard lines, I feel like it's not really water. Okay, I'm gonna add white because we do not want this to be too dark, this part. I'm gonna dab onto my white again. Okay, also soften this part. So quickly use a rotating or like finger painting on this part, just to make things a little more soft. More water. Okay. Now I'll be using my fan brush. Okay, so I'll be using my soft fan brush. I'll be dabbing it to a lot of water, really. And then I'm gonna get my white. And again, as I mentioned, I'll be dabbing it onto or I'll be using more water than usual. And then, okay, this is just a technique. I'm gonna okay, uh, apply it like this way. Very subtle. You don't want to overdo this step. You just want a hint of that water movement. So right here. Okay, I think that's enough. And I'll be using I'll be using the same technique, but this time using my black color. Right? Let's leave it like that for now. Let me just check it from my camera's point of view. This is actually nice. But we will do some more light effects. So I think this area is dry enough for me to be able to paint on it. So I'm gonna get my gray. Okay, just mix your black and white, but don't do a lot of black. Just make sure that white's still more dominant. And I'm gonna use this color to create like a round thing right here to suggest where the sun is, right here. So in order for you to create circle, just move your brush like that. Okay, it's not perfect, but you can definitely have some corrections done after you've done that part. Okay, I'm gonna allow that first to dry there. We don't want to smudge anything. And then using white, I might change to a smaller brush just to highlight the center. So this is the center. And okay, before we do that, I'm going to dab onto my yellow. Okay, using yellow. I hope this is dry enough for me to be able to paint on. Okay, I'm just going to apply this yellow color. Right here again, you can use extra water for fluidity. Okay, like this. And then I'm gonna use my white. Again, I'm using my fingers when it comes to blending. If it's not your thing, you are not compelled to use the methods that I'm using, but I just want you to show how I'm doing it. If you are learning something new, then go ahead and apply that. You are not forced in any way whatsoever to do as I do. Okay, now I'm gonna get my white. I might have to wash my brush. Then using white, let's go ahead and create some reflection right here. So it's just tiny horizontal brush strokes going down. Okay. And then let's make the centermost part of the waves brighter. Because it just makes sense, you know, when the sun is being reflected, it should be reflected as well in the water. Near or far, it's like a song. Okay, I mean, regardless of the distance, as long as the positioning is in the center, it should reflect, okay, the light. Okay, so my, let me just get my cord because my, what they call this, my lamp just turned off, okay? And I don't want you to experience any okay, let me just charge this one up. There you go. I'm so sorry about that. The light, my lamp just turned off. Okay, where were we? So we were doing the waters. Again, just brighten. Like the center. I don't know if my light is too bright. Okay, now let's go back to this area. So I'm just gonna use my pure white right here. And before I proceed to detailing even more, let's go ahead and trying to get a really pointy brush. I'm gonna dab onto my white. And I'm just gonna go around the mountain area using white just to highlight like that. Okay. And using some gray, we're gonna highlight the distant or the nearer mountains. Just like that. Okay. And finish this area using some violet. Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit of red to my violet so that it appears more purpley. Maybe add a little bit of yellow. And I want this color to be right here. And I'm gonna use water, extra water. And then I'm gonna add white to that. Again, just to brighten everything that is near the center. Okay, and so that we don't cover too much. The black lines, let's make sure that they're still there. Okay. Trying to do some more blending. You know, my sketch pad is actually perforated, so I'm just trying to paint the excess um, visually to just like make the painting look more finished. But if you're using the same sketch pad, you don't have to do that. I'm just trying to be more like neat when it comes to like visually making my painting appear. Okay. All right. I think this is pretty much dry, like up there. Gonna use my white and yellow. Okay. And I'm just gonna go around the sun. Okay. And then pure white again. A little bit of blending right there. More white. And a little more orange or pinkish. Okay. Let's just darken this. More white. Okay. Gonna get some gray color. So let's just create gray. Okay, right here. Adding a bit of pinkish color. Like that in the sky. It's quite challenging doing this sky part. And it's not because it's difficult, but because of the material that I'm using. Just gonna add a little bit of white. Right here. Right here. Okay. I think the light is too much. Mhm. I'm thinking of adding more. Okay. I'm just gonna add a little bit of orangey color. Right here. Loud music along the street. I think when it's summer, everyone's just noisy. Don't you think so? Okay, I'm using light yellow. Right here. Again, just to be consistent with the light. Okay, all right. Okay, I think this is done. I'm gonna sign this now. I'm just gonna use the white color that I have here, and I'm gonna sign right here. Okay, and we're finished. So I hope you enjoy this one. It's quite simple, uh, and I rarely do this type of subject. So I hope you enjoy this one, and I hope to see you in my next one. If you want to highlight more the sun, I can actually do it now before I close the video. Okay, just like that, you can do that as well. Okay, just to make it even brighter. Okay, and I'm gonna repeat it. If you like this video, let me know in the comment section below. If you're painting along with me, let me know in the comment section below. If you like this video, let me know as well in my social media accounts. See you in my next one, guys, and have a great day. Bye, guys.